Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that the plot never sleeps, once again becoming the center of secrets and suspicions as Phyllis Summers and Sally Spectre face off in a tense confrontation. While Jack Abbott smells trouble, Lily Winters will also stand up to a difficult situation. This is a story about the dramatic events that are taking place and the hidden intentions behind each of the characters' actions. Phyllis and Sally, a suspicious encounter during the meeting at Chancellor Communications. Phyllis Summers tried to smile, maintaining her usual polite appearance. She knew that in every conversation, she had to keep a friendly attitude, no matter how many conspiracies were lurking inside. However, Sally Spectre, who was not one to be fooled, immediately realized that Phyllis's smile was fake. Phyllis's awkward gestures and unnatural gazes cannot hide the feeling that she is trying to project a different image than what is actually happening. Sally has long had her doubts about Phyllis. While Phyllis has always maintained the image of a strong, sharp woman, Sally knows that underneath that facade lies a woman who is not afraid to use any means to achieve her goals. And, as they talk, Sally begins to question whether Phyllis is trying to incite Billy Abbott to carry out a dangerous revenge against the Newman family, especially Victor and Adam. Phyllis and Billy, a complicated relationship. While Sally has her doubts about Phyllis, the fact is that she has been strongly opposed to Billy Abbott's recent intrigue. With the cooperation of Aristotle Dumas, Billy has been planning to regain power, so that he can regain the Prime Minister's seat that he feels was stolen by the Newman family. This is not the first time Billy has sought revenge on the Newman family. However, Phyllis, despite her conflicts with Victor, does not accept Billy's revenge. Phyllis does not want to see Billy continue to be involved in meaningless power struggles, as she believes that he should focus on rebuilding his life, instead of being dragged into wars with Victor and Adam. Phyllis wants Billy to overcome his past, but Billy's anger towards the Newman family makes him more susceptible to dark schemes. Sally is wary. Although Phyllis has good reasons for not wanting Billy to continue his revenge, Sally does not completely trust her. With a past full of tricks and schemes, Sally suspects that Phyllis still has her own schemes that she does not want to reveal. Sally believes that it was Phyllis who stirred up Billy's anger towards Victor Newman and Adam, which led to his decision to work with Aristotle Dumas. Sally, who has made some scheming moves in the past, does not hesitate to express her concerns to Chloe Mitchell, her close friend and working partner at Newman Media. In a tense conversation, Sally expresses her doubts about Phyllis's true motives. She is an expert at creating chaos, and I don't believe she simply wants Billy to get out of his rage. Phyllis always has her own agenda. Chloe, who knows Sally was a notorious schemer, offers sharp advice. Sally, you used to be so good at manipulating things to your advantage. If Phyllis is who you think she is, you need to deal with her the way you did in the past. Use your cunning to take her out of the game. Chloe urges Sally to create a secret war. Chloe, who always tries to use Sally's strengths, urges the girl to return to her old scheming instincts. You've dealt with people like Phyllis before, right? You can do this. Don't be afraid to confront her. If she's really a threat, you need to deal with her. Sally, while reluctant to return to the tricks she left behind, feels compelled to use everything she has to protect her position and maintain the stability of her work at Newman Media. Sally and Billy Abbott's relationship, while not as clear-cut as it once was, still carries a certain emotional weight. And if Phyllis attempts to disrupt Billy's plans, Sally will not hesitate to fight to ensure that she remains in control. While Sally is strategizing against Phyllis, Lily Winters is also facing a difficult situation. She, in her important role at Chancellor Communications, cannot let the tension between her partners and the Newman family members affect her work. Lily has always kept a cool head, but the confrontation between Phyllis and Sally could seriously affect the stability she has worked so hard to build. Lily knows that if she does not quickly deal with the relationship between Sally and Phyllis, the situation will become unmanageable. However, she cannot risk direct conflict with the Newman family members. Being wise, Lily will find a way to navigate this situation tactfully, ensuring that every decision she makes will not only be based on emotions but also benefit the company and her family. A dramatic battle of intrigue. In just a few days, Genoa City will witness a dramatic but silent confrontation between Phyllis Summers and Sally Spectre. From Billy Abbott's political machinations to Sally's clever tactics and Phyllis's cautiousness, nothing is as it seems. Jack Abbott is right to sense that something is amiss, and Lily Winters will have to be more careful than ever in maintaining her position. Romance, intrigue, and calculated decisions will make the situation in Genoa City more complicated than ever. And while everyone tries to find their way, the battle is not only between individuals but also between dark intentions and ambitions that are secretly developing. Genoa City, Phyllis, Sally, and Billy Abbott. Genoa City has always been a place filled with intrigue, complicated relationships, and constant conflict between characters. In the latest episode, the power play between Phyllis Summers, Sally Spectra, and Billy Abbott is entering a tense phase, pushing all parties into an inevitable situation. The relationships between these characters are falling into an extremely complicated war, as their decisions affect not only themselves but also the careers, love lives, and loyalties of everyone around them. Sally and Chloe, the devious one. Sally Spectra has a history of scheming, from involving others in her plans to taking drastic actions to achieve her goals. However, while Sally begins to see the darker side of Phyllis, she also realizes that she cannot fight on her own without help. And the indispensable companion in this battle is Chloe Mitchell, a close friend who has also been full of sharp strategies in the past. When Sally decides to fight Phyllis, she not only relies on her cunning but also takes advantage of her close relationship with Chloe. Together, they plan to disrupt Phyllis's life, making it impossible for her to continue on the path she is on. Sally believes that she can only eliminate Phyllis from the game if she cooperates with Chloe, who she knows will not hesitate to use any means to achieve her goals. While Sally and Chloe are preparing their strategic moves, Phyllis has no idea that the very people she once considered her allies are secretly trying to take her down. Phyllis has always been a person who lives for her own interests, but this time it seems that things are not as she can control. She will need to be more careful than ever, so the appearance of Sally and Chloe is a big threat to her. Billy Abbott, standing in the middle of the women's war while the relationship between Sally and Chloe becomes more dangerous, Billy Abbott accidentally becomes the center of this war. It all starts with him. Billy is the one who angers Phyllis and becomes the target of Sally and Chloe's dark plots. However, Billy is not someone who is easily drawn into complicated relationships without thinking carefully. Billy has always been an honest and straightforward person, but being in the middle of Phyllis and Sally makes him feel awkward. Phyllis, despite her controversial past, has always been someone Billy feels close to, even has a special connection with. Meanwhile, Sally is someone he once had feelings for and still maintains a difficult relationship with. Both women have their own motives and reasons that make Billy face a difficult choice. Billy's choice, Phyllis or Sally? Billy is drawn into a war that he doesn't want to be a part of, but at the same time can't stay out of. As Phyllis and Sally both have clear goals, and as these intrigues begin to strain Billy's relationships with those around him, he faces a big question: who will he choose in this war? Phyllis is someone Billy has been close to for a long time, and for a while, he feels that there is a special connection between them. However, Billy can't deny that Phyllis is not always someone he can trust. Phyllis's actions sometimes contradict what he thinks is right, and in tense situations, Billy can't help but feel that she will do anything to protect her interests, even if it means destroying others. Sally, on the other hand, is someone Billy finds difficult to relate to. Despite his feelings for her, Billy is also aware that Sally has a complicated past. She is a scheming and calculating person who always tries to achieve her goals. However, Billy cannot deny that Sally has shown him a different side of herself at times, and he feels that she could be the one to make his life less complicated. With the tension rising between Sally and Phyllis, Billy is faced with a difficult decision. Will he side with Phyllis, whom he knows well and has feelings for, or will he support Sally, who still makes him feel that their relationship has the potential to develop better in the future? No matter who Billy chooses to fight, one thing is clear: he cannot continue to live in a mess he had no part in. His relationships with these two women are not only governed by emotions, but also by important decisions that affect his career, personal feelings, and loyalties. As the conflicts escalate, there will be unexpected shocks that can change everything. No matter whose side Billy decides to side with, he will face great consequences, and once he has made his choice, there is no going back. And meanwhile, Sally and Chloe, with their own evil schemes, will stop at nothing to get what they want. Phyllis, despite her own sanity and strength, will face a great challenge, not only from Billy but also from her past allies. Amidst the elaborate plots and strategies, a dramatic battle awaits them, and all will be caught up in the whirlwind of power and revenge. With the next steps, no one can predict the outcome of this war. Everything can change in the blink of an eye, and Genoa City will never be at peace until these plots are revealed. A new power struggle in Genoa City. Billy, Jack, Lily, and intrigue on the young and the restless Genoa City is never short of drama, especially when powerful forces clash. In the latest developments, the dispute between Jack and Billy Abbott is gradually becoming a hot spot in the story. Billy, haunted by the past, is looking for ways to get revenge on the Newman family, while Jack, the more mature and level-headed brother, worries that Billy's decisions may lead to unforeseen consequences. At the same time, Lily Winters, who always keeps a cool head intact, will have to face the tension and doubts about the information she receives from Victor Newman, as Damien once again tries to protect himself. Billy Abbott, revenge and the unbreakable obsession. Billy Abbott, who always has a desire to prove himself, cannot escape his obsession with the Newman family. After being repeatedly overlooked by Victor and Adam, Billy not only feels abandoned but also carries a deep sense of disappointment, which makes him determined to take revenge. Despite having his own company and a loving family, Billy still cannot shake off the negative feelings left by the Newman family. Although he has started investing in Abbott Communications as a new start, Billy still cannot escape his obsessions. He even secretly allied with Aristotle Dumas, who has a not-so-bright plot to regain the power that the Newman family has controlled for many years. With Dumas' support, Billy is taking steps that could cause chaos. Jack, with his experience and sobriety, senses trouble when Billy keeps mentioning revenge and plans to fight Newman. Jack is worried that Billy, despite his intention to start over with Abbott Communications, is being drawn into a power struggle that cannot be controlled. Jack knows Billy's character well and knows that without timely intervention, things will get worse. So Jack reminds Billy of the purpose they set out to invest in Abbott Communications. This is a new step, an opportunity for Billy to restore his career and family, instead of getting involved in revenge plots. However, Billy, with overconfidence, reassures his brother that everything is on the right track and he is looking forward to a brighter future. However, Jack cannot help but worry when he realizes that Billy's secret connection with Aristotle may lead to unsolvable problems in the future. Lily Winters, facing an important choice while Billy faces the temptations of power and revenge. Lily Winters is taking control of the YNR Corporation in a complicated situation. She has proven her leadership skills and always keeps her cool in every situation. However, the current situation presents a major challenge, as Lily must face hidden plots and suspicions related to Damien. Damien, an unpredictable character, has once again defended himself against attacks from his opponents. However, this time, Lily begins to worry that the intelligence she received from Victor may be inaccurate. Being a cautious person and not easily trusting every word, Lily decides to confront Damien to clarify everything. Lily knows that Victor, although a trustworthy person in business, sometimes has personal motives when providing information. She begins to suspect that Victor may have intentionally twisted the truth to force her to do what he wants. As a leader at YNR, Lily understands that following false information can lead to serious consequences not only for her but also for the company. With the confidence of someone who has overcome many challenges, Lily does not hesitate to question Damien about his connections with other forces, and also demands a clear explanation of the information she has received. Damien, despite his defenses, is finally forced to face Lily's difficult questions. He understands that once Lily begins to suspect, things will no longer be easy. But what can Damien do to maintain the upper hand? The tension between Jack and Billy is escalating as the two fail to find common ground in the power struggle. Jack, as the older brother and the more experienced one, cannot accept that Billy is being drawn into dangerous conspiracies that could hurt their family. He worries that Billy is betting too much on his association with Aristotle, who has shady connections and unclear ambitions. Billy, although still considering Jack a close brother, is too confident and eager to take revenge on the Newman family to see clearly the dangers that lie ahead. No matter how much Jack advises him, Billy is stubborn and believes that his plan will succeed, and that his association with Aristotle will bring good results. However, as secrets begin to emerge and things become tense, Billy may be faced with difficult choices about his future. Tense decisions with Billy's schemes and plots, his confrontations with Jack, and Damien's involvement in the power play, the situation in Genoa City will become increasingly complicated. Billy may not see the consequences of his decisions clearly, while Jack will be constantly worried about the safety of his family and company. Lily, in her leadership role at YNR, will face new challenges when she doubts Victor's intelligence and confronts Damien. While Billy continues to face the haunting of revenge, Jack and Lily will have to find a way to maintain stability in a time of great change. Each decision they make could completely change the course of this war, and things will not be easy for those caught up in the whirlwind of power in Genoa City. Subscribe to our channel to stay updated with the latest news on our channel.